Cultist Simulator, we're going to begin a game. So Cultist Simulator, I have played, but remember not nearly enough of. And if I'm honest, even when I did play it, I probably didn't understand everything I was doing. This is a really kind of a unique concept. The main designer for this game very much intentionally set out to make the game difficult to get your head around, not necessarily inaccessible, but certainly mysterious, right? Like the very way you play the game is intended to be part of the puzzle, part of unraveling the secrets that lie within it. And it kind of lends itself well to the theme of the kind of esoteric occultism that we're gonna delve into here. So I'm gonna jump into it and kind of explain as I go. The game does have a pause button. I will be making liberal use of that to do some reading and explain a little bit about what's going on, because everything is timed. So if I just let it run, we would not have any time for commentary. Oh, they're looking nice. Thank you. I am glad. It's one of the fun things I've done with this stream is I use it to like kind of learn and access new skills and things that I'd never known how to do before. And that little animation is something that I didn't know how to do. I went and watched a bunch of tutorials and kind of built it from scratch. All right, so we're gonna begin a game. The Aspirant, alone in this chilly city with my useless education and my dreams. What now? Could I become something more? So first things first, we got to name our aspirant. And our first aspirant is going to be named Baker Logs. All right. Since this is a brand new game, the normal trimmings apply. If anything is too loud, make sure you let me know. I think there is a yeah, card accessibility, I believe, makes the text a little bit bigger, which will be nice because then I don't have to play everything zoomed super far in. So this is the layout for the game. It is essentially a table, kind of like you were doing a tarot reading, only we're not using a tarot deck. We are using cards that are representative of people and places and actions and things. So here we have our menial employments. Oh, that's what it does. When you hover over them, they pop up. I love that. Menial employment, a precarious position as a hospital porter. Miserable, but it's all you can find just now. So these cards interact with these larger kind of like stones, these like glyphs as they were. Work, earn a living, or practice the invisible arts. So why don't we take our menial employment and put it into work? Another shift, mopping the darkened hallways, delivering post to hollowed-eyed invalids, trundling corpse-laden gurneys to the basement. So we'll go ahead and start that. And so now this is where some of the kind of time and resource management comes in. It's going to count down for us. So if I unpause, work is underway. These big gaps will soon go away because eventually everything is happening at once. So we just had a couple new things pop up. So when our task in work has finished, halfway through your shift, the head porter beckons you aside. We won't require your services any longer, he says. Here, your last payment. We've paid you through the end of the month. I have lost my job. At least now I have a little time to rest, and my health improves. Dream is unlocked. So we've got the payment we received for finishing our shift at the hospital, which I'm going to stack over there with its neighbor. And then we've received some health. So now we have new things happening. Recall my dreams. Once again, I dream of a glow beneath the filthy skin of the world. The light through the black wood. The pale door. The old man. Well, while that is running its course, I'm going to throw health into the work slot for back-breaking work for meager pay. Is this the best I can do? Generally a good idea to keep things kind of at least doing something in this game. At least that's how I remember it. There's probably a good chance that some of what I remember strategically from when I played previously really won't hold water in a new attempt. So we're going to be doing a lot of this kind of trial and error. I'm going to move some of these guys around. Part of what makes this game interesting is kind of a hidden mini game is the organization of your board, and I'm sure no two people organize it the same way, but I tend to do my actions up across the top there. It began when I spoke to the old man in the hospital. He knew my name, but he's dead now. The pneumonia. Why do I dream of him still? What is the cobalt light in my dreams? Time is now passing. So here come the time constraints that I had discussed. So the dream verb allows us to rest. We have contentment and we have passion. Passion is another one of our kind of like stat cards or kind of major resource cards. I don't remember. Well, let me pick up both if I hover over it. Yeah, I got to grab it by the number to do that. Contentment, however, is a little bit more fleeting. I'm happy, I think. Contentment defends against dread, but contentment doesn't last. So this is on a 1-minute timer and will disappear at the conclusion of that timer. Oh boy. All right, things are starting to move. So when you're looking at a slot in an activity, so for dream, rest, reconsider your priorities or risk yourself in exploration of the kingdoms of sleep. I can see that to trigger the dream, I can dream with passion or I can dream with funds. I'm going to dream with passion, and I will show you why in a moment. I know this dream. A road crests a hilltop, and the air is silver bright. So now it wants me to dream with lore. If I engage in an occult practice before I sleep, I might find the way to dream a deeper dream. I don't have any of that, so we're going to let that roll. Now, the passage of time is going to make it so that now things just kind of happen. These are like events in the world of Cultist Simulator. They're going to kind of throw us random obstacles, curveballs, things like that. But one of the things it's going to do is, much like in real life, our continued survival is simulated by the use of funds to secure basic necessities. They abstract all that out. This is not going to go into a depth where I have to like set money aside to buy food and rent and all this and that and that. What it does is it just every so often grabs one of my fund cards and just eats it, essentially. So that's why I didn't use funds to dream, because I want to start to get a little bit of a stockpile going for that so that we don't have to worry about it. All right, let's unpause and let things run. I gotta remember to let things run a little bit so that I don't just talk while it's paused when I could be advancing towards the next objective. And this, like, I know even just that was kind of a lot to throw out all at once, but if you think that is extreme, this game gets real wacky. All right, so our manual labor is almost done, which I believe takes our health card out of play temporarily. Yeah, so now we have, this is the actual passage of time. I'm going to stash this over here because this you never really interact with. It just is going to soak up my money. Time, the sundial shadow, passes. I must have funds to live or I will become ill. And then this is a change in the air. So that's going to like be an event. Yeah, so we got our health back. So it doesn't eat our health like the way time eats our money. Health is a reusable resource. The day is done and so am I, but I've earned my pay. So we got our health back. We also gained a vitality and some funds. So let's go ahead and stash those funds. So you can see there, it took 60 seconds for me to generate that funding. But then there's a 60-second cooldown on my health when I'm done with it. So that's the give and take, right? Like I can earn money just by grinding those kind of unskilled jobs, the base level jobs that the game provides. But it's very much like a work to survive kind of a scenario. It's hand to mouth. Everything we're earning with that is going to turn into something that gets eaten by the passage of time. We're going to finish our dream here. I think I can work. What can I work with? Just health, and I don't have anything that's ready yet. The dream is continuing. Passage of time. A letter from a solicitor. The old man at the hospital, the one I dream of, has named me in his will. I'll hear more soon. All right, so our health is going to come back to us kind of right as the funding is going to get eaten, but we're going to need to put together something so that we can start getting some money generating and give us a cushion. I dreamt of opening doors, red doors and gold doors, and doors of glass, and doors bound like books, and railway carriage doors and castle gates. Behind one was the something I seek. I woke with the slamming of doors still in my ears. So I have recovered my passion. We gained restlessness. So not everything you gain is good. This can be good. There are good uses for restlessness, but accumulating restlessness can lead to anxiety and like worse things for our character. A restless longing has me. I feel like I want to do something. What exactly? I'll get into what all the stuff below it is in a little bit here. All right, so we can dream. We can dream with health, but I'd really like to be able to put the health back to work in the work slot. So I'm actually going to dream with funds. I don't remember what this does. Times of crisis. I might visit a discreet pharmacist to purchase a tincture of opium and make my dreams sweet, but only in times of a special crisis. This is an expensive and risky way to gain contentment. Ah, okay, so we don't need to do that because I don't need contentment, so that would just burn funding. So as soon as health is available, we will put our health to work again. I think the random event is going to trigger some stuff for us too here, so let's let these timers cool down, and then we're going to have to kind of take another peek. I might turn off... I thought that this would make the text bigger, and it doesn't. It's just to make the cards bigger. So we're going to ditch that. I was hoping it would make that bigger. I will zoom in on cards that are new so that everyone can still see the artwork. All right, so 11. The old man has bequeathed me a sum of money and a packet of peculiar papers, poetry, riddles, metaphysical speculations. For the first time in months, here is some fuel for my reason. Study is unlocked. So we got 9 funds. Thank you, old man at the hospital. A bequest. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And reason. So reason is our other kind of statistical resource card. So now we can study. So that study verb is kind of more permanent now. So we'll bring that over here. Yeah, exactly, Afterlife. So now this is, again, the game is designed intentionally with no tutorial. When you play it, you're just supposed to throw stuff in any kind of slot that's open just to see what it does. And we're going to have passage of time is going to eat another funding. So the fun thing becomes like, it's all trial and error. This is almost, I wouldn't say it's a roguelike, because even though there is some element of randomization and luck of the draw at hand, it's very much a methodical process. You learn the correct plays to make. So it's more of a puzzle game, but especially your first handful of runs have an almost roguelike flavor of like, try a strategy, see if it works. Oh, I got further that time. Oh, I didn't get as far that time. So it's an interesting setup. We're going to take our bequest here. A package of peculiar papers from my correspondence executor. I must study it using either passion or reason. So we're going to study this. And now we need to study it using an approach. Am I a passionate individual or a reasonable one? Well, this is kind of where those cards come into play, or the little indicators come into play. We're going to use reason just because I don't want to wait until our passion is not exhausted any longer. But if we look at these things here, these aspects, aspect lantern. Life is a pure flame, and we live by an invisible sun within us. Thomas Brown. Lantern is the principle of the secret place, sometimes called the house of the sun, and of the light above it. What? That just sounds like gobbledygook. Aspect, ingredient, fuel, ointment, pigment, patience, all are consumed in time. Aspect, ability, brain or heart, or hand or eye. Most of us are born with most of them. So what these are almost like, think of it kind of like mana, right? So like 2 aspect lantern means that a single card of reason has 2 lantern aspects. It has 2 lantern energies. So when I use that to study the book, I'll examine each item with meticulous care. That kind of determines the course of the action. So sometimes it's not about just taking the action. You also dictate how you're taking the action, which is where things just start to get bonkers. All right, so we can work with our health again. I don't think I really have another need for the health right now. So we will go ahead and do that. Can I dream with the health? Yeah, you know what? Let me dream with the health, because I think that gives me another vitality. With luck, I'll wake refreshed. So we'll let the timers run here. Passion's going to come off cooldown in about 45 seconds. Restlessness is going to disappear. I didn't really have enough verbs available to put restlessness to work. Like I said, sometimes you can take some of these and they'll either be negatives that you can turn positive, or they're a negative until you cancel them with another positive. But none of it is like super clear until you've tried it. All right, so we finished studying our books. We get our reason back. That was not put on cooldown. My correspondent describes my dreams exactly. They use names that are instantly familiar. The house, the wood, the hours, the glory. They knew secrets beneath time and the skin of the world. A new curiosity burns in me. There is a note here. Directions to a bookshop that does not advertise its wares. So we get directions to a bookstore. We get temptation, enlightenment, notes on a possible collaborator, and a watchman's secret. So let me zoom in real quick. So directions to moorlands, cryptic directions to the obscure address of a certain moorland, a dealer in the rarer sort of book. Temptation, enlightenment. It has occurred to me that I hold the key to wisdom. This card will allow you to win an enlightenment victory if you upgrade it far enough. Dreaming about it might advance or change it. Notes on a possible collaborator. My correspondent had recorded his observations of me. He believed I had potential. He recorded his observations of someone else, too. With time and study, perhaps I can find that person. And a watchman's secret. It has been expressed like this. Each hour has its color, but color exists only where there is light. So this watchman's secret has two of those lantern aspect, the 2 lantern mana. This is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in odd corners of scholarship. To upgrade or subvert this fragment, you'd need either erudition or an HQ with a library. Kind of getting ahead of myself. It's just another kind of resource. So let us do this. We are going to study moorlands. The directions to moorland's shop are cryptic. When one deals in the kind of books my correspondent studied, one must be circumspect. And then, did this say I can work with my temptation? The final fulfillment of a desire is often a conclusion. It's not enough to hope. I stand or fail on my deeds. Desires are often the means to winning a game. The desire for sensation or power of enlightenment will require a great ritual, but there are other, even rarer desires, especially in the Ghoul, Priest, and Dancer expansions. Okay, so that's how you would win with the Enlightenment Temptation, but obviously I don't have the resources for that. So we're just letting things run here. Cooldown timer on our money sink is coming up pretty soon here. I think we can work with passion. I might do that because when health comes out of dream, it's still going to be on cooldown. And I'd rather not keep... oh, so yeah, our restlessness cooled down enough that now it's turned to dread. I've seen too much. A nameless gnawing fear has its teeth in my hopes. An existential horror. So if we let that accumulate, I've got 3 minutes on its timer. We're going to be in trouble. So what I'm going to do is throw paint, which is passion work. I used to paint. I could paint those sights I half remembered from my dreams. I might sell something, but I probably won't. And then the yearning, I think we might have been able to do that with the restlessness. So unfortunately, the timing there was just off. All right, our health's going to come out of our dream, and then our Moreland's study is going to finish basically simultaneously here. Let's see. Trysts and interludes. I have a particular friend. If I have a particular friend, now is the time to renew our connection. So sometimes when this timer ticks over, kind of as it pulls the next funding in, this is the random event generator. So apparently this was looking for a love interest, but would not work if we had notoriety. So we don't have any of that. That's just going to time out and disappear. We do have some other things going on though. The course of the heart. Whenever the principle of the heart is implicated, I may gain vitality. Interesting. I don't really know what that does. An early night. In the land of two rivers, in the days of Rimush and Naram-Sin, there were stories told of a howling woman who devoured the children of other mothers. Last night, there was howling in my dreams. So that is not great. I was hoping for a much better result than that, because that actually got us another dread, which is not great. Wait, I can dream with dread? What does that do? I remember that I was different, but I can't yet remember how. Dread can be quelled with the correct resource. Ah, contentment, which we don't have. We might get some contentment from having painted, though. That would be lovely. What else we got? An ill street at an ill-favored bend in a lesser river. A soft yellow light through a grimy window. Miss Moreland nods as I enter, but doesn't rise. I never ask the names of my clients, she informs me, before I have time to introduce myself. Explore is unlocked. So we can explore locations, which obviously we have just unlocked one. We have Moreland's. Now that I found a location, I can explore it. And we have learned an occult scrap. Secret histories are layered beneath the one we know, like the notes in rare wine. This is a detail from one of those histories. Exploring with this scrap of knowledge may uncover secret locations in the capital. So let's do that then. This is like our tutorial for the explore verb. There are places in the city where I can find extraordinary things if I can sift the clues out of history and rumor. And then what else have we got going on? We can study a whole bunch of stuff. Why don't we... Wait, I can study dread? What would that do? That sounds terrifying. I can use my dread to strengthen a dangerous influence. Oh, whoa. That's like some advanced stuff that I am not prepared for. We can, however, study our note about a collaborator. I have a name, a description, a few tantalizing details, but there are 1,000 faces in this city. And then I guess let's dream. I'm almost tempted. I'd hate to burn through funding for something silly, but we could get contentment using a dream with our money should we need it. Study something with dread. I just threw the dread in there, and the dread has options for study, but it's for higher level stuff. It's something we would be able to do with dread later when we have more things at our disposal. Still working through our painting. Let me go ahead and let this wind for a minute. I've still got almost the 3 full minutes. Okay, some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. We did get a contentment, so what I'm gonna do is, this contentment's only gonna run for a minute, so we're gonna have to be kind of quick when our timer comes down. And we will grab the dread that expires more quickly and nuke that. Actually, I think that's just dream with that, right? Dream, dread, and contentment. Yeah, I remember that I was different before. Cool, so we can nuke that. It's gonna take 60 seconds, so hopefully we can generate another contentment coming up. Meanwhile, this is the course of the heart. We're exploring that occult scrap. We've got... Remember, I was different is very ominous. I agree, Afterlife. The writing in this game is really cool. So The game is made by, oh sweet, another vitality. And this one's gonna run out, so I gotta be kind of quick about how we use that. This game was made by a cat who made a web game called Fallen London, which if you're not familiar with Fallen London, is like a sprawling interactive novel that's kind of tied up into almost like a mud RPG. But the writing is brilliant in it. And that writer, well, one of the writers, I think there's several that are involved with Fallen London, he came and left Fail Better, which is the company that makes Fallen London, and formed this studio to make this game. Same place as Sunless Skies. Absolutely, yeah. So Sunless Seas and Sunless Skies, two other games in the backlog, are both made by Fail Better, and they are set in the Fallen London universe. And now I have an address. I'll dispatch a letter and propose a meeting. So talk has been unlocked. Mystique, uncanniness lingers. Mystique may attract the attention of hunters. They can't use it to build a case against you, but it will encourage them to look harder. All right, so study is now available again. What do we got? Explorer's on a 28-second cooldown. Work's coming off a cooldown in a second. I think study is what I want. If I study my vitality with another vitality, I am abrim with vitality. If I devote some time to exercise, I'll benefit. So if we study both of these vitalities together, remember, vitality had a timer, it was going to disappear. You amass vitality, and by having enough of them that we can use together, I believe this outputs another health so that we have 2 healths, which is obviously beneficial since they go on cooldown. So what's coming up here? Work is almost done, which I think we were painting. Yeah, because I don't have my passion available. So we must have been painting. So our passion is exhausted. Our painting has borne some fruit because we got 2 glimmering. Glimmering are kind of like, glimmering is vitality for passion. So the same way that vitality was the resource we used to gain more health, glimmering is the one we use to gain more passion. But we got to wait until we're done with study. And then what else? We sold our painting for 2 funds. Lovely. And then passion's on cooldown. Do I want to put something into work? I mean, I should put something into work because otherwise I'm just sitting around not doing anything. So we're going to go ahead and we have another health coming. So let's just work with health just so that work is at least generating some funding. Talk is going to finish up here. Our exploration of that occult scrap is going to finish up here. Lots of things moving. We have become sick. That's not great. If an illness cannot consume health, it will kill you unless you have special protection. So the bummer is we're going to need to be able to have a health available when this countdown ticks down to 0. So fortunately, we at least have another health coming. The reply to your letter is courteous, if cautious. They are intrigued by how you found their name, intrigued enough to meet you, which means we have met Clavette, an acquaintance. I love the art style so much. It's so good. This place merits closer investigation. And so that is Congregation of St. Felix of Schoren. So that's another place we can explore. I don't want to go explore a place like that just yet because that starts to get a little bit dicey. What we want to do is we want to talk to our new acquaintance. Here is someone I might work with, a companion or a follower. But first, I must give them something to follow. A society, a solidarity, an order, a cult. And then I think we're going to go to Moreland's and buy something from the bookstore. It takes time to sort the gold from the dross, the wheat from the chaff, the blood from the water. If I buy enough books, I'll find something interesting. All right, I'm just taking stock of what's running here. Okay. So the dream is going to spit out our dread. It's going to have consumed our dread with our contentment. And what do we get back from it? Fleeting reminiscence. A moment in time, in another moment, it will be gone. I believe we can use that as fuel for painting. So when work comes off cooldown, we're probably going to throw passion and a fleeting reminiscence in there. In the meantime, what can we dream with? Reason, dread, funding. We could dream with a funding. We're already sick, so I'd hate to see dread progress. How long does this dread have? It's still got a ton of time. I'm not going to do anything with that just yet, just because I don't want to necessarily do it when I needn't. So dread dream is how we got rid of the last dread. We can do that. We can dream with dread, but we can only dream with dread if we have a contentment to balance it. So first what we would need to do is dream with funding, which is us buying opium. I'm hoping, I don't know all the interactions on the board right now. I think a contentment can come from some of the other stuff we do. I have begun my true work. The authorities will take an interest. I must be ready for them. You have begun to establish your cult. It will need a little more before you can recruit followers. So we have Clovet back. I'm going to start stashing people over here. This is what I was talking about when I said there's like a little bit of kind of organizational. But we've also gained a notoriety. So this sticks around for 5 minutes. Notoriety. Certain acts are not quickly forgotten. Notoriety may allow hunters to build a case against you. Now that we've started to make our cult and we have all these kind of things working together and interacting, now another wrinkle is about to hit us. So this notoriety indicates these hunters, we can wind up with an event where a hunter is on our case. And if a hunter is able to uncover enough clues, they can out our cult. And that is another one of the game over conditions. Let's talk. Can we still talk to you? Together we might be more. Oh, I probably was supposed to start my cult. Tradition and compulsion. Old, new, or both together. We're supposed to add a lore. So I think the only choice we would have is this Watchman's Secret. This runs for 27 seconds. I'm gonna wait until the Moorlands timer is up, because there's a chance we get a different one. Although we really should do the lantern. You know what? We really should do the lantern for our first one. So the lantern is gonna be the tenant behind which we found our cult. This determines the cult that you run. There's several different kind of branching narratives to this game. So by using this as our founding tenant, we will do an occult society dedicated to the understanding of the light that leaks from a fiercer place. Meanwhile, our conversation with our friendo has finished. That was really stupid. So all that did for me was get me another notoriety. So that's bad. I'm not going to talk to you again. Damn it, Clevet. Maybe be a little bit more incognito. Yes, I know we're starting a cult, Clevet. That doesn't mean you have to tell everyone. All right, cool. We've gained health. So now we have health that was immediately gobbled up by being sick. Skill, a stronger physique. I have benefited from exercise. Use this with 2 lessons learnt to gain more health. Interesting. I think lessons learned is actually like a resource. But I don't remember. Study. Can I study Mystique? No, we can't study Mystique. We can study our glimmerings, though. I'd like to do that. The tigers of wrath are wiser than the horses of instruction. If I spend time studying what I've learned, I can increase my passion and gain a skill. So we'll do that. That's going to run for a minute. Moorlands finished, so we get Moorlands back. And then what did we find at Moorlands? The Orchid Transfigurations, Volume 1. A 16th century alchemical fever dream attributed to Robert Flood, frequently banned for the disturbing allure of its illustrations. This is the original Latin. So this book is something we can study. It's a text. It's got auctionable. We could sell it if we were really strapped for cash, but it's also in Latin. So it's not super helpful to us. unless we know Latin. And unfortunately right now, Baker Logs does not know Latin. Still waiting to see if maybe this pops out a contentment we can use to get rid of this dread. This dread's going to start getting a little curious. Our purpose demands we recognize truths that chill the spirit. I must give of myself. So since we are doing kind of like this cult of the mind and of secret histories, we're going to found it with reason. Ooh, we need a Vonage manuscript. You're not wrong. All right, so we've given our reason into the pot there. So I think this actually founds our cult in full. Still no one really we can talk to. Nothing we can really dream about that's going to be super beneficial right now. If this doesn't pop out a contentment, we're going to dream with money to get our opium. The Course of the Hearts. What did we get? So we have our fatigued health. So that's a separate health from the one that's in there. Oh, we weren't painting. Shoot, I thought we were painting, but we weren't. We were doing unskilled labor. That's right. Darn it. All right, well, that's fine. So that just means we have to bite the bullet and sleep with our funding. Sleep with our funding? Sleep using our funding. I don't know that that necessarily makes it sound much better. And then, so that means can't talk with vitality. Can't work with vitality. So vitality's just got to chill until I got something to do with it. We do have the fleeting reminiscence. That's what I said I was going to do. So we're going to paint. And then that doesn't work. That's a bummer. I think it did just say we could... Oh, we can explore with that. My thoughts will wander and I will follow. Old emotions will come to roost. Okay, cool. So that just kind of lets us wander the streets of the city. That's fun. I can get behind that. When this sickness timer's finished counting down, it should... Ooh, this illness has damaged my health. I'll need to rest before I am able to fully recover. Cure your affliction with funds or vitality. So, that's fine. We do have a vitality we can put to it. I think we'll have to dream to do that. But what is this guy? Exotic cravings. What hungers drive us? Ooh, I don't remember how that works. It says it's magnetic, but I don't... What is it gonna grab? It didn't grab anything. Maybe the card we need for it isn't... Oh. Hunger glows in my brain. Hunger for the knowledge the invisible arts might bring. My mic is drooping. My boom arm is showing its age. All right, so this now wants what? My first recruit. A cult with one member is only an unusual habit. I must have a recruit. That's a fun line. Well, Clavette, I mean, obviously is our first recruit, right? Like, we don't have anyone else to talk to, and we might as well induct her into the club because she's just gonna go around blabbing about it anyway. All right, so what do we got here? Uh-oh. Dark days. I must be careful not to let doubts creep in. Dread may provoke full-fledged despair. Shoot. Okay, so this is the danger of dread, is if this bleak thoughts shows up, it sucks a dread in, and now it's going to give me a despair card, which is much worse. So we do have restlessness. This is the one you can paint with. So since we were already painting, that's sweet. We can just throw that right into our painting and get rid of that from the jump. My own heart pumps more strongly today. That just gave us a vitality with... Oh, okay. I thought it gave me a vitality that was only good for 0.4 seconds. Damn it. And we got contentment from our exploration of the city. We could have counteracted the dread. And we got another contentment because of our tincture. So now we got all these contentments we can't do nothing with. Yeah, I can't do anything with contentment, right? Unless I'm getting rid of dread. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer. All right. But we can, I believe, get rid of our... Yeah, all I need now is time. So this vitality's got longer on it. Sure. So we'll ditch our affliction using a dream with that vitality. And that'll give us back the health card that we had lost earlier. We can kind of have that back in our available health pool. What else have we got going on? Let's do another trip to Moorlands. We have an okay amount of funding here, and I'm hopeful that we can sell this painting for a decent amount since we were able to feed it a restlessness. All right. There are more windows in my soul, but sunlight is not the only thing that passes through a window. I've gained passion, but it'll be more difficult to gain passion next time. So there's our passion back. And then we earned a skill. A vivid imagination. My daydreams sometimes outpace my dreams. Use this with work to paint or with study and with 2 lessons learnt to gain more passions. So I can either use this in a painting, or if we use this with lessons learned, we'll gain more passion. So this is kind of like the stronger physique card we earn from studying our vitalities. We can study contentment. It might be possible with the right combination of influences to raise more power. Oh yeah, this is what we looked at earlier. And this is like all kinds of weird high-end nonsense. A consciousness of radiance. Velvet charm. So that unfortunately does not do us any good. I don't think we can study the book since we don't know Latin. Yeah, my Latin skills are too limited to read this book, so I might be able to find a textbook or hire a tutor. All right. The cult is being founded. We've got a painting in the oven. We're going to the bookstore for some more goodies. Okay. I have founded my cult. This is a step to greater power. Use your cult to recruit and promote followers. Talk with your followers about your cult to send them out on cult business. So there's our follower. We get our dimmed reason back. We get our watchman's secret back, so we don't lose that. We just used that in the actual formation of the cult. And then we get a temporary headquarters. And we get our cult, the Mirror of Glory. An occult society dedicated to the understanding of the light that leaks from a fiercer place. You can use cults with the talk verb to recruit or promote followers, and to send them out on errands to gather resources. A believer can be promoted to a disciple. A few gifted disciples can be exalted even higher to seers. In our temporary headquarters, our business is private. We could use somewhere more secret. So let's see. When we talk about the Mirror of Glory with our associate, to promote a believer to a disciple, I'll need to provide an appropriate aspect for the cult to at least the 7th intensity. Man alive. All kinds of stuff going on. So I can't start it because I don't have enough aspects. It needs to be 7 aspects. So the contentment's not enough. What do we have? 2 is what we have by default. Yeah, so there's no way we're going to have enough with the cards we have on hand. We get another 2 from the contentment. So if it had let us put multiple contentments in, that would have been pretty rad. All right, so right now that does not do us any good. Study. We can study our Watchman's Secret again. We can just study our passion. Let's study our Watchman's Secret. Oh, no, we need another one. Okay, that's to upgrade our aspects. All right, so we're just gonna have to chill a minute. I'm still really concerned about what is gonna come of the dread we've got cooking. Not pumped on that. Our painting is done. Hi, Benzen. What's going on? So we've got our exhausted passion. I found a customer. She'll probably hang it in her spare bedroom and never look at it again. But her money is good. Sometimes painting will gain you glimmerings. Study them to unlock even more advanced painting options. So we did get a freaking contentment out of that painting too. Damn it. What else do we get? Glimmering and 2 funding. Okay. So the passion, we don't really have a ton we could paint with. We could paint with our vivid imagination skill. We would need one more. We need lessons learned. Glimmering, a lesson learnt. My emotions run higher than usual. There are always things I'll never understand, and those things will always be precious. But just now, I am closer to them. Glimmering can be used with study to gain passion and lasts only 3 minutes if unused. Okay, so we're coming up against some of the stuff that I'm starting to like remember, having a hard time remembering how it all worked. What do we get at Moreland's shop? A collection of poetry. All right, we need to make... This is going to be the book nook down here. Moreland shop is up here with locations. I really need this notoriety to go away. I have all this contentment and nothing to do with it, which is so frustrating. With our passion, we could do another paint. We've got funds. Funds are a little decent right now. I'm kind of not really in a position where I want to just spam funding for no reason. But I do also want to be able to use funding to go and buy stuff at Moreland's. All right, we can't leave stuff blank here. Let's study. What do we have available to study? Can we read this collection of poetry? The poet makes himself a seer by an immense, long, deliberate derangement of all the senses. The opposite of wisdom, thankfully. Study to gain a glimmering lesson learnt, which you may be able to use to increase passion. Oh, okay, cool. So hang on a minute. This is just going to give us a lesson learned, which is the thing we wanted to study with this. We need 2 of them to cash in our skill, Vivid Imagination. So I guess that kind of makes the decision for us about whether or not we use that for painting. We currently hold off. Let's explore. How does this work? Preparations for an expedition. I could send an expedition here to find books, treasures, tools of power, but I'll need followers to send and funds to supply them. That is far too advanced for what we currently have going on. I am not prepared for such a thing. And then we don't really have much doing there. If we talk to Clovette, significant conversations in a smoky meeting room. What do I need from my follower? So what I would like you to do, our cult for cult business, a target or another topic. So let's talk about our cults. Not everyone is sympathetic to our aims, but if we have problems with our reputation, our believer might be able to smooth them over. Ooh, I wonder if that'll like nuke some of our notoriety. Although trusting Clavette to get rid of our notoriety is maybe a fool's errand to begin with. All right. We really, you know what? We're going to do another run to Moreland's. I really need a book from Moreland's that we can turn around. Oh, sweet. Hang on. So, despair is the wolf that devours thought. You can feed despair. You can defeat despair by feeding it contentment. Otherwise, it will destroy you when it reaches 3 dread. So that wound up just sucking up the contentment we had anyway, so that's fine. The sick room grows close and stale. It is time to get up. So we get our health back. That's lovely. So now that we have 2 health in rotation, do I want to use health? No. I want to use a passion here to do another painting because our other passion is going to come off exhaustion here anyway. So that's fine. And then I want to rearrange this a little bit so that we're keeping those guys kind of organized with one another. We need Morelands to give us something we can study to maybe earn more occult resources. Right now we just have that 1 Watchman's, which is not enough. There's our shop. What do we get? The 6 letters on necessity. That sounds like something we can read. Warnings and confessions about the cost of the invisible arts, addressed to a student of the 17th century magus and reputed immortal Julian Kosoli. So yeah, for sure we should be able to read that. So as soon as study's available, we're going to be reading that. And Let's go and buy another book from Moreland. Wait, did that not go? I said go. There we go. So another book on the way. What can we be dreaming about right now that I'm not dreaming about? We can dream about our enlightenment. This sometimes can hit us with dread though, and we do not have a contentment to throw at it if we get it. Should I dedicate myself to my purpose or focus elsewhere? Let's dream about the cult stuff. I really need some of that occult business to start moving. Right now our cult is basically like, I found one scrap of paper in an old man's last will and testament, and then I met a girl at a coffee shop and we talked about how cool that would be. Which, if I'm honest, is not a very cool cult. All right, so there's our lesson learned. That only lasts for 5 minutes. Study. We want to study our new book. Causely's tone is urgent, as if he suspected he might have little time left. God, all the little bits and bobs are so interesting. The standards of daylight society cannot apply to us, but perhaps we won't emphasize to that point. Perhaps we'll rely on charm and good humor. I have supplied elegant platitudes about the high principles of our organization, and she sucked in our mystique card that's been sitting around forever. Interesting. Every verb in action, so that's good. Nothing is sitting idle. I think one of the things I did wrong with this the first time I played it is I played it with basically fast forward running all the time. And like, you can't. It's so much to try and process. If you've been playing the game for a long time and you're super used to the flow of it, I could see that working if you're going for like, you want to run a different cult or something. But maybe it's just because I'm so dumb. Wrapped in the King. Detailed accounts by James Colin Murphy of secret bacchanals and ecstatic dances observed in necropolises and graveyards in southern Europe, in Egypt, and in Anatolia. The author is a self-confessed ghoul and eater of buried flesh. He claims to have witnessed the dances while at his feasting. Whoa! That's bonkers. Okay, so that's a pretty big one. We're going to study that in a minute. We got our study is cooking right now in the other book we found. I am going to go to Moreland's one more time here, but we're going to have to cool it until we got some money. This game can get crazy. Afterlife, it can get crazy. We haven't even gotten to the crazy parts yet, because right now the cult is still basically just a group of idiots. All right, so that passion is no longer exhausted. We'll move a passion exhausted there. We got another glimmering. We do have a contentment, so if we get hit with another dread, we're not boned. And our painting sold for 2 funds, which is great. We're not really doing anything else with our passions right now, so I'm just gonna, you know, chew these passions into one another over and over. And then I might try and time it. We should get a glimmering out of this painting, which would give us 3, which I think is enough for us to get another level up. The wolf despair prowls elsewhere. No dread empowers this despair. It's over for now. So that despair, remember we had the dreads and contentments kind of chilling on the board, and we developed despair because one of the dreads counted down. Despair sucks up dread that you have on the table, and if it eats 3 of them, it's game over. That's very much like in the trend and trope of H.P. Lovecraft, when like the protagonists or researchers in an H.P. Lovecraft work just like get in too deep and just basically break their minds. But because we had contentment to eat up some dread, if the timer on despair cools down, you are able to kind of get it to go away. So our fleeting reminiscence, we just had one of these and I already forgot what it's used for. Damn it. Oh, we can explore with it. That's what it was. And when we explored with it, we got contentment. Our notorieties are almost gone. So hopefully when I open up this to find out what's going on with Claudette, we're fine. Whenever the principal, I don't know what this one is. This is a random event, but I don't know what it does. You know what? We're gonna bring the cult headquarters over. All right, so we had sent out our disciple to try and like get in good with the public. Doesn't look like it worked. Earnest speeches, affable conversation. No one understands us, or else they understand us too well. So we got our mystique back. There's a peculiar rumor about us now, it would appear. There's the cults, and there's Clavette. Clavette has proved so far to be a very only okay cult member. This might lead me to someone I need, or it might mean something else entirely. Explore with a rumor to follow up on it. Interesting. Okay, how long is our fleeting? And this one is only a minute. All right, so when our exploration to Moorlands is done, we're gonna actually go and explore with our peculiar rumor, so we can do that before it's gone for good. This vitality is gonna disappear before we can do anything with it, and that's not that big a deal. I would like to get another glimmering lesson learned before that's gone. There's Moorlands. The skeleton songs? What? That sounds radical. All right, so we wanted to explore with a rumor. I suspect that at the end of this story, I may find someone who will hear what I have to say. Ooh, that would be lovely. And then what's the book? Poems of Greedy Delight, composed by the possibly pseudonymous pseudonymous? Pseudonymous? Is that how you pronounce that word? It just means like this person under a pseudonym, but I've never seen that word used. Pseudonymous? It's like anonymous, but pointing to that person having used a pseudonym. Arabella Dusk, the rumored heiress turned madam turned poetess. Cool. And that one's also in English, so we can read that one in a moment as well. Light's dedication. All right, so this was we dreamed using our Watchman's secret. I have spoken the words. Each hour has its color, but color exists only where there is light. I will go where there is light, though it bleach me to glass. I have advanced a step towards a terrible ascension. What? What does that even mean? Dedication, enlightenment. I have dedicated myself to the pursuit of higher understanding. I must see beneath the skin, whatever the cost. This makes an enlightenment victory possible. I must be a true initiate of the Mansis. I need to work with lantern aspect to allow the watchman to see me. What? What just happened? Okay. We could basically set that down, and the Chris doesn't have any freaking idea what to do with this column. So we can dream with this. I've gone as far as I can in dream. I must perform the work. Oh, so I think we may have even had this exact card earlier, but maybe I didn't read it, or maybe it changed focus now that we've got our dedication to the watch. Lost some more money to the passage of time. That's fine. Our study has borne erudition. Even the sun can be divided, though it require the forge of days for its division. Ooh, all right. So this got us another occult aspect. So this got us a smith's secret, which is a forge aspect. In 5 continents, smiths have whispered the same words to the iron. Murderers have been known to whisper these words too, and adepts, of course. These words are spoken in ritual to inspire an unmerciful change. So freaking cool. All right, what did I say I was going to study after that? Was it the glimmerings? Oh, I can just do it with 2 now? All right, yeah, that's fine. If you're gonna let me do it with 2, we'll do it with 2. Ooh, damn it. That means we probably could have done it with 2 vitality as well, but now my vitality is gonna run out. And we had another contentment potentially coming from this painting, so it would have been much smarter to do it with the vitality first. We don't have a dream going. We don't have a talk going. We lost our, what was that was here? A contentment, I believe it was. There's my passion has recharged. I finished a painting to the excitement of absolutely no one but me. Sometimes you will gain glimmerings, study them to find more advanced paintings. So we didn't sell our painting that time, so that's obviously a bummer. What is erudition? I soak up knowledge as shadow soaks up light. I may be close to advancement. Erudition can be used with study to gain reason. It lasts only 3 minutes. Oh, so this is like the equivalent of glimmers and vitalities just for the reason stat. That's what that one is. Okay. So we do want to work again. Oh, and when this explore is done, we need to explore with our fleeting reminiscence. Just joining, are we still playing Fallout? No, not quite Fallout, although this is maybe like the spiritual version of Fallout. This is Cultist Simulator, where I basically play a combination of Solitaire and Magic the Gathering against myself while I try and uncover the eldritch gods that truly control the world from behind the curtain or something. Right now, it just means that we do a lot of painting, and my character Baker Logs just gets really depressed a lot. So it's semi-biographical. Let's see. We want to explore with that before it disappears, so I don't want to forget about that guy. We got to study with skeleton songs. Why can't, is Wrapped King, did we get that back, or is that not been studied yet? Let's do another painting, and hopefully if our timing is right, we might get something we can throw in that from having explored and whatnot. Damn it, we were just about to get all this notoriety and then a new one showed up. Ooh, a hanger on. Usefully malleable, but they'll probably never amount to much. You might be able to recruit this acquaintance as a follower. Well, how do I do that? Do I just talk to him? Once you've established a cult, use talk with the cult to recruit an acquaintance to your cult ranks. Wait a minute. So I talk, and then to recruit a follower, I'll need a little of the power we revere. I might glean it from an influence or a tool or an ingredient or the lore of our tradition. So does that mean? Yeah. Okay, cool. So I can turn this hanger on into another follower like Clavette here. We did want to explore our fleeting reminiscence before that disappears. We should have another passion on the way. What did we just lose over here? A trembling in the air. The sun flickers like a shadow. Dreams ripple behind the surface of mirrors. I must be careful not to drift from the waking world. Fascination may provoke visions. Slot shadows. It is the empty space which makes the bowl useful. What? All right, there's a lot of riddles happening all at once. There are more windows in my soul, but sunlight is not the only thing that passes through a window. So we got another glimmering lesson learned, which I think we're gonna go ahead and do our study, because this should yield us another passion. Who desires but acts not breeds pestilence. Let's see. All right, so the two notorieties we got earlier when we were talking to Clavette are going to dissipate here without much issue. We do have the longer term notoriety to deal with, but it's just the one, so that's not overly cumbersome. We get back our Watchman's Secret. We now have a pawn, so that's different than a hanger-on. A pawn, this one is loyal but lacks initiative. So we can stash him down there. Mirror of Glory can come back up here. This is the one we can't read because it's in Latin. What can we dream about right now? I feel like I'm consistently not having dream at work. And I would like to make it work for me. We can dream about our dedication to enlightenment, but only if we have the stuff. Oh no, now it wants us to work about it. Yeah, Devil Dog, like Afterlife was saying, the game is super strange, so it's kind of a difficult thing to just pick up upon, but it's like a point and click adventure game. This memory was a maze and gave us dread. Damn it. It's like a point and click adventure game without the point and click, or like a choose your own adventure book driven by a tarot deck. If either of those make sense. That may in fact be more confusing than what I have just shown on the board. So that may not have helped. Let's see here. We need some money because we're about to start running out of funds. So I don't want to go to Moorlands. We don't have much we can explore though. Can we just send a pawn out? Crowded thoroughfares by day, a fog-wrapped labyrinth by night. I'll set my minions to searching for opportunities. Yeah, so we'll just send Goober out to go look around. See what we can get out of that. We need this painting to sell. If that doesn't sell, I think we're gonna have to bite the bullet and grind some day-to-day dollars for a minute. I might have found somewhere unusual. If you notice there, the timer finished, and then instead of it popping up a result like it does, it popped up another timer. What that is behind the scenes, the game like drew a new result based on what we found, and then had to kind of fulfill that timer before it was able to give us any kind of an answer. Damn it. All right, so we didn't sell our painting. Do I go for one more? I mean, I don't really have anything. Well, let's see what we get from some of these rewards for a second. All right, so our pawn found what? He found the Ecdysis Club, a cabaret with an occult reputation. Okay, so it looks like it's another place we can explore. Awesome. But I want you to maybe go out on one more run. And then I need this to finish. And maybe generate something we can use. Should I, you know what? Let's do one just honest hard labor while we're waiting on some of these things to materialize benefits. Yeah, okay, so there's another fleeting reminiscence. We will throw this in. I found someone whom I might pay to enact regrettable necessities. Add funds to hire them for a limited time. A fortune teller. I see things. I see that you're different. This hireling may be useful for some expeditions and can help with hunters and annoyances. I mean, yeah, so that's great, but I don't really have anything I would need you to do that for. Although you're worth 5 lantern? Really? Maybe we hire them and then just send them on that expedition, because if they die, who cares? I was just talking about how the funds are running though. You know what though? Let's do it. This will buy their loyalty for now. I gotta get over the fact that this run is doomed. I don't know that it's even possible to win this game on your first run. So that's fine. We'll just keep it going. So study wise, what do we study right now? Well, let's study skeleton songs. In Arabelle's introduction, she explains that the book was to be illustrated, but that the Suppression Bureau would not permit it. She hints that the illustrations still exist somewhere. The book is dedicated to Sir Parzival of the Red Cup. Oof. That's some weird business. Alright, so they're going to take forever to do that and hire that guy, and then I think we're going to send them on this expedition and just kind of see what happens. We have Dream not doing anything for us again, which is always kind of a bummer. What if we just dream with passion? And then throw this guy in there. I could sleep in a room without colors. Bleach the sheets, whitewash the walls, dye my hair, and paint my skin. Alright, that passion's recharged. We're about to gain this new temporary follower. So we might get a vitality, which is always nice. We have a fatigued health. We got a vitality. There's our money. And then we have a vitality that's just about... Oh my god, it's to 1/10 of a second. I don't know if this will even work. Ooh, what the hell's going on over here? The wrong kind of attention. Oh, we have a notoriety. Uh-oh. That might be bad. I'm trying to time this perfectly so that I can get... they were too tight. I wanted to be able to... Ooh, a red secret. I didn't... Shoot, I didn't read what the flavor text was from that discovery. I was trying to time that out so that at the exact moment this one expired, I was able to grab my vitality and throw it in here so that we could gain the extra health point. But it just... The window was too tiny. I couldn't do it. All right, so that's fine. We might be getting another vitality from this anyway. So we now have our pawn and our fortune teller along with Clavette. So let's do an expedition. So from what I remember, these are like quests. And so you're required to have like enough characters to like do the job. And they're going to need some funding. Membership of the congregation is strictly controlled. It may even be inherited. The safest approach is to burgle the minister's residence while he's conducting a service, but the sworn mothers of the congregation guard the place in shifts, and they are not easily distracted. Expeditions need at least one fund per obstacle. Followers will defeat obstacles. If you run out of funds or followers, the expedition ends. So we're going to start that up. I don't think this is going to be successful, and we're running dangerously low on money at this point. So let's go ahead and do... another painting and hope this one sells. We have our dread is down almost to a minute at this point. Our hunter unfortunately has found our notoriety so that we're going to potentially have someone to deal with there in a moment. Now learn, what can we study here? That's our Latin book. Let's read this one. So we're cruising. I'm starting to remember a lot of how these things interact. This is still like a grossly beginner's board setup. This game spirals into such layers of madness that I can't begin to imagine exactly how people like piece this together without being able to talk on internet message boards. All right, so we've got what we need for another health up. But we need the study that's going on with the book to kind of finish first. The bleached way. Color exists only where there is light, and the wood is the place where light does not walk. In the dream, I close my eyes and walk, stumbling, bruising my feet and knees. At the last undergrowth before me grows too... Oh, at last the undergrowth before me grows too thick to pass. And when I open my eyes, I am adrift among black trees. Shadows flutter. My feet will know the way back to this place. That's bonkers. Okay, so there's our Watchman's secret back. We got a buzzing in the brain. What? Engi rum imus noct te consumi snip snip snip. A second order influence apparent to the perceptive, instantly recognizable to an adept. This can be used in some rites to summon minions, and some minions will leave it lingering when they are destroyed. What? I sound like Afterlife when I read that? You're not wrong. Some of this game was written in Afterlife speak. Weigh the wood. I've learnt the path to the wood, the tangled darkness that grows around the walls of Mansus, though the Mansus has no walls. I can dream with this to return to the wood. So that's like, that's different than just a location. That's like a spirit destination. I mean, F it, right? Don't we try and go. If I have enough passion, I can walk the dream road to the wood. If I have the right knowledge, I might be able to find the right way beyond it. Interesting. Employ passion to enter the wood, or with the right lore, find the way to the white door, the door where the dead throng. What is happening? Now I pass between scar-barked trees. The moon passes behind branches, though her fingers remain in my hair. I am stumbling over roots now. It is tempting to drop on all fours to avoid the low branches. Pale wings move deep in the night. Afterlife, my uttering shall not be impugned. I am perfect. Perfect. I think intentionally spelled wrong. I'm gonna be honest. I have a hard time knowing when to attribute a misspelling from you to being intentional. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I could send another follower. Well, F it. We're gonna send the pawn instead of more funds because we broke, y'all. It's gonna actually time out and eat our last fund coin before our work is done. Oh, all right. So the suspicions around the Mirror of Glory have spawned a weary detective. Look at this guy. Soulless with his neat trimmed mustache. This gentleman would much rather be left alone with his pipe and an illustrated London news. But no, apparently some conjurer of abominations has to be hunted down like a mad dog. And apparently no one else can find the time. So this guy is now actively hunting us. We'll see how well that turns out. We do have a dread that's starting to tick down in a kind of a concerning fashion. But I believe this is a painting in the works, yeah? Yeah, so we could maybe see a contentment out of that with which to dream away the dread. Oh no, because dream's not going to be available in time. Bummer. Okay, so what do we got? Ah, we found a customer. Beautiful. So for once we do have a customer. We've got our glimmerings. We got our monies. And then I can't shoot. The timing on this sucks. I should have paid closer attention to what we had still cooking from that dread. So that's going to turn into a despair. But that's fine. I think it's just going to be a matter of making sure that we don't accumulate another dread before the despair catches up to us. All right, so there's a vitality. Ooh. At these greater feasts, a black pig is always crowned as king before its slaying. On this occasion, its heart has weighed in the balance against a knot of feathers, and its skin became a cape for the efficient. Its flesh was left for the crows, but I must confess, my interest was not in its carcass, but in the perfumed flesh of the milliner, laid fresh in the earth. A waking chant. Who could hear this and remain unmoved? The sleeping? The dead? The earth and the sky? Use this in a rite with Byzantine tinct and a meteoric bullet, or other resources of equal power, to summon a percussagant? What is a percussagant? What is happening? All right. This one doesn't appear to have a time limit though, so that's not the same as the buzzing in the brain where it's somewhat transient. So can I... Yeah, so I need more of those than I would be able to field right now. Our vitalities are doing what? So let's use the 2 vitalities. Oh no, that's vitality, a lesson learnt. I see. So let's go ahead and just study with those 2. We do have plenty of health working right now, so I might put one of those back in the old percolator. So this gave us restlessness. So here's the move. This is going to turn into dread in moments. What I would really like to do is paint and use my restlessness as a... Oh no, it timed out. Oh, right. Okay, it timed out because it didn't have a chance to turn into dread. Oh, and this turned into restlessness as well. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to have a bunch of painting to do because I don't want these restlessnesses. What? We found the way through the wood. All right, we're back. And we're in Mansis. Fancy new transition. Cool. Yes, I was working hard on it for a chunk of the day yesterday. New skill I picked up, learning how to do a little really simple animation. I wish that the Mansis was as accessible. I wish that there were just YouTube tutorials. Probably is, come to think of it. I'm sure someone has done YouTube tutorials about this game. But supposing that our hero, Backlog, actually was just running through an otherworldly, unseen horror without a guide, he would desperately wish there was some YouTube. So it looks like we can pick up a peculiar rumor for free. Maybe? Oh, we can use that on the wood. The well and the Temple of the Wheel have cards we can flip. So is this like I have to choose one? Or do we get... Well, look, if we have to choose one, we're going to go to the well. Yeah, okay. So it gives you... It's like the old what's behind door number 2. You can either take the card that they give you automatically, or you can choose one of the other ones. So I found an Awareness of Appetite, which is a Grail aspect. Every sense is heightened, every sensation deepened, which it looks like is a minion summoning tool. Weird. Okay, so that was just like a vision we had. Oh, stuff's still counting down. Hang on, let me read. The well in the wood is never dry, but it is never clear. One night, it might heave with crawling roots. On another, it will pulse with bright moss. On nights of the full moon, its waters are choked with the fat, dappled bodies of moths. Last night, I saw it brimming with dark and viscous blood. Gelatinous shreds drifted on its surface. Clots of grail matter. Gross. All right, so that's a summoning tool for the Grail aspect, it would appear. This is a summoning aspect for an aspect we don't have any of. Just doing a little housekeeping here. I was hoping to do more than one run, but this run has actually gone pretty well, all things considered. I didn't think I would remember enough of this to keep myself alive for long. So we do get our Exhausted Passion back. We save our Way of the Wood. Okay. So I'm going to do this. Let's put Dream back over here on the left-hand side, and we're going to keep Way of the Wood near our Dream. Oh, what do I do next? I think if we Dream with health, we can get another Vitality. Let's do that. Oh, no, that's to get Contentment. But it can create Dread and Fascination. Let's ignore that. What if we sleep with Reason? There was once a man who said that the sleep of reason produced monsters. Often, it is healthy to let the mind wander in sleep. But if I keep dreaming, sooner or later, some sort of monster will rise from my own fears. I don't know what that means. That also sounds pretty ominous. You know what, though? That's got a lantern aspect on it. So let's do that. I mean, the lantern and reason are the founding tenets of the Mirror of Glory. So I'm about it. We should also take a chance and go to the cabaret, because we have not been there yet. We can't really do anything with the cult because all of our cult members... I gotta put my hair up. Oh. I don't know if anyone else is going through this in 2020, but like I haven't had a haircut since March and my hair is just getting so freaking long that I don't even know how to handle it. I'm almost to the point where it's long enough that it's not as much of a problem, but right now it's still a problem. The city is rife with journalists and detectives and other meddlers. How long will they leave me in peace? So this pulled in the cop that's looking at us. Oh, damn it. We have yet another time where our restlessness is going to time out just before our painting is done. What a bummer. Supplies are low. Unless I send more funds, we will have to abandon the expedition. So that needs 28 seconds. All right, I'm going to let the timer on my painting run dry to see if we get paid first. Because unless we get paid, I can't really justify giving our last bit of funding to the expedition. There's a vitality lesson learned. I don't know what the dedication enlightenment does other than give us a win condition. That's a little frustrating because I just kind of sit on that card and don't know what the hell I'm doing with it. Put our glimmerings, you know, we can put our glimmerings in here and get vitality lesson learned. So I guess the advantage is just that they last longer. I don't really know. Like our next vitality would cost 3, I think, along with the skill. So I don't exactly know how all that works. Oh my God, we didn't get paid even. Ugh, even with the fascination, we didn't get paid. So wait, we'll get sick if we time out. So if it goes to pull funds and we don't have money, I think we get sick, but we have the health to sit on it. Look, I know this is nuts and this is absolutely not the correct way to make this play. We'll sell this painting. Baker Logs is not a crazed artist. Surely he'll sell this painting. I didn't waste my time in that art school, Dad. We have relics. Ancient relics. Funds are essential. Oh, so it wants funding again. Monks, contemplatives blessed or condemned to service here. They're bound by their curious vows. We can murder them or deceive them, but they will not be seduced. I don't understand. So, I mean, this is everything that's in the mix. I don't know what happens here. I don't have any money to give it. I don't have another follower to give it. Can I give it? No. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out in a second. Tonight I will dream of a museum. Interesting. I'm actually going to dream the script for another Night at the Museum film. So, oh, interesting. Dreaming of reasoning just got me glimmering. Not... I would have assumed it would have given me erudition. All right, so we are sick. So our health is kind of stuck on ice while we fight our disease. We are going to finish our painting. And that should generate a money to feed this before we get sick a second time. I am safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring a case against me, and they found no new clues. So the detective is going to stay and play here, but we really only need to worry about him when he's in one of those investigation nodes. Can we talk to him? Surely that's not a terrible idea to just go talk to him. You know what? We're already out of funds. Things are already probably getting a little crazy. Why don't I talk to them? Why don't I talk to him about... What should we talk to him about? We talk to him about dread. Something to think about every time you close your eyes. This might sway the hunter from their path, but it'll always increase your own dread. Not interested in that one. Let's just tell them about the cult. Hey, man. Why don't you chill out? We're just culting out here. Can't really afford to talk to him about health because we're very low on it ourselves. Can I just try and like hit him with like a little occult knowledge? There are finer things than we see. You must have felt it. Consider the possibilities of eternity. This might tempt the hunter from the path, but will always increase your own fascination. He's what? He's mortal and a hunter. Yeah, again, I think this is a F it, throw caution to the wind kind of a scenario. I think Backlog's time here is done. I gotta be honest though, right back in the saddle, and I get a run further than I got one when I played it the first time through. Like, I can't really be upset with that. Plus now I get to start a new character and kind of show you how that works, because that is also a neat aspect of how this game runs. All right, painting didn't sell. We're the worst painter. Like, it's just canonical that Backlog's is a terrible painter. All right, we can dream away this dread that we have. We aren't really out yet. We're not donezo. Ooh, what is this? An expedition member has fallen. Our numbers dwindle. Oh no. Clovette died? Oh, all right. Well, perhaps this is the beginning of the end. Can we work with reason? Find clerical work. Ooh. Little animation for our troubles. Their wounds are grievous. Heal a fallen follower with talk. Okay, so if we... But wait, we're talking currently to the detective. Really hoping we can get some money from this clerical gig. Is that a thing we can do? Junior position at Glover and Glover. My intellect should be put to better use, but the pay is better than laborer's work. You don't attend this job regularly, you may suffer a demotion. Oh, so this pays better than menial labor, but it takes longer. Interesting. Oh no, it takes about the same. The numbers looked funny from the angle I was looking at them. All right, so you gotta chill over here. I'm sorry that you're injured. We are gonna get ill again here. We did have the health to fix that. We do need a vitality to fix our health though. And then now we have what? A trembling in the air. The sun flickers like a shadow. Dreams ripple behind the surface of mirrors. I must be careful not to drift from the waking world. Fascination may provoke visions. Oh, we're about to get a fascination because it said that would be the byproduct of us trying to lure the detective. So that's kind of cool. We can try again when the dust is settled. Oh no. I spent all that and it wound up for naught. What a fool I've been. All right, well, we paid for this fortune teller. We might as... Oh, I can't send her out searching. We can send the pawn out searching though. Maybe he'll just find me some money. All right, so our fascination immediately got fed into the trembling in the air. Yes, I could be something finer, but what we are is less important than what we do. The world is where we live, and I will defend it till I die. You can keep your visions. This hunter has become grim and tenacious. So that backfired horribly. So we now also have a grim and tenacious hunter. This hunter will survive perhaps one physical assault in 3, even when the attack would otherwise be unstoppable. Grim hunters cannot be swayed by the allure of glory, but their own despair may destroy them. You know what, though? That's fine, because this is going to give us some opportunities to learn a little bit. Funds will buy medicine. Ugh. Funding is something that we are currently lacking in a pretty stupendous way. You also want funds. Look, guys, this cult's not made of money. I don't know what you guys want from me. Glimmering lesson learnt. How many of those do we need? We need 3 of those, so it's not really going to do us any... Excuse me, not going to do us any good. We got some passion stacked up. Let's just study a passion. Why not? We are going to get paid before the timer on this runs out, so we are going to get back a funding. I might have already lost, and it's just letting, because I don't have an active proper health on the board. Fleeting reminiscence. I don't know. Can I need a vitality. I can't generate a vitality. I can do it with funding. It all comes back to the money. My God, why don't cults have Medicare for all? I think cults should have universal health care. Who agreed to join this cult without universal health care? That's insanity. All right, so the money we made immediately got eaten by our expenses. And we just made the 1? We didn't have anything left over? Oof. Diligence. Extra effort might help. All right. Yeah, we'll be diligent. We're officially in a position where we need to come up big, otherwise we're dying. So that's a decent motivator. I was wondering if I could dream about the detective. Whoa. A lot of things just happened really fast. Am I seeing things? Paintings whisper, windows wink. I know these things are not true, but how can I be certain? You can defeat visions with dread or a fleeting memory. Otherwise, you will lose yourself completely at Fascination 3. Oh, so I didn't want that thing to eat Fascination, which is probably makes sense given the creepy logo it has. But this actually wound up being an accident in our favor because we had a dread on the board, and that Fascination is countermanded with dread. So it got rid of our dread for us. Oh, without money, I'll soon starve. I need rest and nourishment if I am to recover, but when my mouth waters, when my vision swims, I see the red cup, and now and then it will speak to me. Dreaming with hunger before the card fades will allow you to recover health. Yo. All right. And then to recover, I must eat. Oh, but that needs money. Guys, listen, we talked about the money situation. So the detective has pulled in our mystique. So he is apparently using that as a clue kind of a situation. We do have a vitality coming from Course of the Heart, so that's great. I could not or would not provide medical assistance, so Clavette's still chilling. Yeah, everything's just coming up terrible is essentially the best way to describe everything that's happening. So if we talk about the cult... Oh, no. I'm doing this backwards. Hang on. We want to talk to the fortune teller about the cult. No. How do we do this? Oh, I wanted to talk to her about the detective, but he's stuck in another card. We can talk to her about hunger? Doesn't seem like something she would want to chat about, if I'm honest. I don't think that's for me. What, you don't want to go? You don't want to go to the club? All right, so apparently we just wasted our talk action on her. That's fine. She was getting ready to disappear anyway. We do have our passion back. We have another glimmering. So if we study with passion one more time, it seems somewhat futile to even bother when we're so close to having a game over scenario anyway, but I'm just trying to make sure I understand a little bit of how the system works. Because with one more glimmering, we can study the glimmerings for a glimmering lesson learnt, and then with our skill to gain a permanent passion. Uh-oh, detective found our notorieties as well. We do have our vitality back, so we can use this to cure our affliction when we dream. That'll give us back a health point. We need some money. That's lovely. So we get our money back. Our reason is dimmed, so we won't be able to put in extra effort for a little bit. Mr. Aiden, the supervisor of records, has called me into his office to recognize my diligence. I watch the mole on his neck as he talks and talks and talks, but at the end of it, I have a promotion. My new position is better paid, and the desk stands by the street window, but I work directly for Mr. Alden now, and Mr. Alden is known to be exacting. Interesting. All right, we'll go right on back to work then, son. I am better paid than I was, but Mr. Alden has taken interest in me. He is very particular. Mr. Alden likes things done just so, and he has never believed that I am qualified for this position. All right, well, listen, right now I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about us making money. I think we're going to lose this point of health permanently when this disappears. Oh, that is brutal. Some wounds never quite heal. Untreated injuries and hunger become decrepitude, which just does not return to health. Decrepitude remains until you die. Oof. All right, cool. So we got some decrepitude. What do we got? Some exotic cravings. I'm sure that won't bring about any bad repercussions. We got another fleeting reminiscence. Let's explore the old fleeting reminiscence before it runs out of time. We are just going to get funds in time to put that into our thing again. Oh, that paused the timer on my fortune teller, though. So hang on. We can just chain conversations with fortune teller together for a little bit until homeboy comes out. We do have a restlessness. So after our job at the office is done, I think we might do a painting to get rid of this restlessness. There's our passion. There's our glimmering. So we want to study our glimmerings together. I would love to watch someone who knows exactly what they're doing in this game play it. I bet you it would look like when you watch an expert play a rhythm game and it's just like fluid movements everywhere and everything going to its correct place. If a hunter has found notoriety, they will try and use it to create or upgrade evidence. If they're meticulous, they'll always succeed. If they're erratic, I don't think we have. Yeah, we don't have any evidence. You can look for evidence all you want, dog. Do it. Do it. I don't care. All right, so one of those restlessness is gonna pop, which is unfortunate. We did dream a health back into existence, so that is excellent. Sadly, that is our only health. Wait, what? I do not believe that you have properly understood the importance of our work here. This task will require your full attention. All right, well, here. There you go. Oh, that means we're not going to get paid in time and we're going to pull another stupid penalty. And that's brutal. Yup, we're sick. Trembling in the air. Money countdown. I think we're just about at the time where I gotta maybe just let this one run its course. Wait, he found evidence? A hunter has found evidence, real or imagined, of my sins. Yo, for real with this nonsense? All right, hold up. So now can I talk to her about this guy? Yeah. My minion lacks the edge aspect and is woefully unsuited to attacking the hunter. There's a small chance they might succeed. Failure will kill your minion. Whatever, do it. My guy is at the point where he's just like grasping at straws. All right, so we made money and we made more than one money, which is a big deal. Is this on cooldown? Oh no, that cooldown's probably if I don't go to work before that cooldown expires. That's probably how we lose our job over there. I'd love to find out if we killed our guy. Oh wait, we also need, I waited too long because I was focused on the other stuff and we lost one of the glimmerings we needed for that. Well, I don't think more passion was going to save us. Let's be very honest. Oh no, it was just it was still in the oven. I am wrong. I can double click to just socket him. That's actually excellent. All right, cool. Did we do it? My minion has returned with a trophy. Yo, snap, she did it! We killed the dude! The spirit is departed. At some point, the smell will be so bad you'll have to dispose of it. But here it is for now. It may attract attention. It may be used to impress the impressionable. Even after the corpse is gone, the notoriety will remain. Yo! Alright, so we have successfully killed a man. Which is, you know, I'm not going to say that it's the best reason to celebrate, but like, it's a good reason to celebrate. Yo, this evidence is going to last 10 minutes? That's bonkers. I don't think we're really in a position to bring this one back from the grave, if I'm honest. We did kill that hunter. So I might let this one die because I would love an opportunity to play a different run before the night is over. There's our hunger, so we need money to fix the hunger. Another fleeting reminiscence. Yeah, sure. Why not? We can use some more dread. I'm fine with that. There goes our paid minion. Yeah, so we were just demoted because we didn't go to work soon enough. So I guess there's definitely something to be said for early in the game, working with reason and grinding and working up a promotion and stacking up funds. In fact, I think that may be a strategy I employed when I played the first times. Because once you've gotten to a point where you're trying to do other stuff with the cult, it becomes less reasonable to always have your work slot filled with the clerical job. But until then, you can just use it to keep scoring more and more money. We got plenty of passion. I guess that's the other downside, right? Is like with reason on cooldown, we still only have the one reason. All right. So I'm going to speed this up and actually just let this run kind of die. Which I know sounds silly, but like we have a hunger that's about to go off. We have dreads going off. So I'm just going to let this one go. For my first run back after having not played this for probably 2 years. This game came out midway through 2018. I bought this on launch day. I remember being really excited about it just because it looks so different. And when I bought it, I played it pretty hard for the first several days and then just like essentially got so confused and overwhelmed, and the guys from Weather Factory, they were like, you know, we have some changes coming, we have some additions coming, like don't worry, there's some stuff on the way. So I decided to kind of like back off on it. But you know, it is pretty impressive how much of it I remember just from a few minutes. So one of the things I remember is that there's a pretty cool function in place for when you die and start a new run, you don't have to play as the aspirant. So there's like 4 classes, kind of, I guess classes is the easiest way to describe it, but they're like 4 different stories in the Cult Sim universe. And depending on which one you choose, it changes your circumstances around your starting assets, kind of like the aspirant starts with that kind of like benefactor storyline, right? Where the old man at the hospital sends you some funding and he sends you like your first scrap of occult knowledge. The other ones play differently. So we got like an hour left here that I'll probably stream. I might go over a little if that other run is going well. But I'm going to let this one kind of tank so that we can die, because that determines what we can use on our next runs. So I guess we just get to watch meters count down for a minute. What do we got? Ooh, another weary detective, huh? So this is despair. It ate one dread, but I don't know that I'm gonna have more dread for it to eat. This'll kill us though. So this one, no health left. As soon as that one hits 0, we'll die. Take what we learn and apply it to the next one. Absolutely, Afterlife. Like already I can tell that there were a couple of things that I didn't do correctly. Well, correctly in this run. There were some efficiency gaps. But a lot of it was to jog my memory. Oh no. So we grew sick and had no money to pay our bills. My body is dead. Where will they find me? I am not here. In the end, my strength was insufficient to sustain my failing heart. I was ill or starving, and I had no health remaining. I should have ensured I had money to purchase essentials. I could have used Dream to rest and recover from my weakness.